Hi everybody. Have you ever watched Guardian of the Galaxy and saw Yondu doing a thing with his arrow and thought to yourself, what if it didn't have just one arrow, but like five, 10, maybe 20 of them? Wouldn't that be fucking insane? Really OP? Well, in this game, you can do it. It's called Wandering Arrow and it's fucking amazing. Check it out. So first, let's see Wrath 10, just Battlefield. Charge the arrow and let it go. Yeah, just look at the arrow fly. It's beautiful. It's like ballet, you know? They all do their part, coordinate and explode everything on the screen. Just just enjoy, just watch it work. Mwah. So as far I am concerned, it passes the speed check. Could it be faster? Yes. Yes, you could have a faster build. That's possible. But is it fast enough to feel good? Definitely. Definitely. It's fast enough. So for me, it passes the speed check. So I started a Great Fort Wrath 10 to show you 100 wave, but I got fucking lazy. So let's see after a few wave what it looks like. Yep, in Great Forge you can actually stack waves before they are finished. So I stacked as much as possible, and that's what you get. I believe the build definitely passes the Tankyness check. Here, if you are wondering why did the damage drop suddenly, it's because I casted an Immortal Arrow without loading the instruction, and I lost the stacks, so that's why the damage went down. And now, if you are wondering how does the build goes against bosses, I'm gonna leave you with the fight against the last bosses and see how long it takes to kill it. Well, that's it. He did. So, how does the skill work exactly? Well, you're gonna fire the Immortal Arrow. It's gonna fly through this path and give you a stack of Immortal Instruction for each node it went through. Now, on the skill tree, you're gonna take Wandering Arrow did increase damage for each instruction. You're gonna take Wandering Arrow, deal extra crit chance for each instruction, and as an extra Wandering Arrow. And finally, you're gonna take the +2 additional Wandering Arrow. So just from the skill tree, you get 150% more damage, 45% crit chance, and +3 additional projectile. So you get a lot of damage just from the tree. The second skill is useless. You can pick any skill with any spec, it's just gonna be for fun. The tumble. Why did I choose this spec? Well, first of all, you get 40% move speed and 50% evasion multiplier when you use it. Then you also get 40% projectile speed, which helps the Immortal Arrow go faster and come back to you faster, so you get operational faster. You also get 25% damage to elite, which is very good. And when you're starting and you don't have a lot of crit chance on your gear, the 10% crit chance and the lucky crit is very good. Once you've reached 100% crit chance, you can try other spec and maybe have some fun with that. Now on your gear, you're gonna wanna take the Immortal Bow of Relentless Transference. It gives you a lot of damage, another layer of more multiplier. It gives you another base crit chance and some flat crit damage, on top of allowing your indirect damage to life, leech, and mana. You also get a layer of defense from the Primordial Benediction that prevents you from getting one-shotted, and that's very important. The other layer of defense comes from evasion stacking on most of our pieces, and as I said before, the evasion from the tumble. We can get up to 85, and if we min max, probably 90% evasion chance. If you add on top of that the Shroud of the Unseen, which gives you a avoidance stack, you can get to 100% chance to avoid damage, because each stack actually works with the dodge chance. And every time you crit, you get +1 stack. So every time you have enemy on the screen, your arrow will be hitting them, critting them, giving you avoidance stack, and in this way you can reach 100% chance to dodge pretty fast and be immune to damage as long as you don't take a ridiculous amount of damage per second. Now that's it for the defense layer. For the damage part of the build, you only need to add a lot of additional Wandering Arrow from the shoulders. That's it. That's all you need to take. You can also get 25% raw damage on top of your braces, but it's not mandatory. The additional arrow does all the work. Now on every pieces, you're gonna take the affinity for the bow, of course, and the +2 mastery for the Immortal Arrow, which will give you additional stack of instruction. Now regarding the stats, all you need to focus is this node. To get to this node, you just stack as much savagery as possible, and you do everything you can to lower your elemental damage. So you take no elemental damage on any pieces, and you don't spend Slorm on your Ancestral Legacy. And that's it. This way you're gonna get as much Reaper damage as possible. Once you get that one, you can focus this node to get a little bit more crit damage. And finally, you can focus these two nodes to get the 25% damage to elite. And then come back to savagery to get some melee damage reduction, which is always nice, and also a little bit of crit damage and raw damage. For the Ultimatum, we're gonna use Profound Depth because it gets us a lot of area damage reduction in itself, and it gets a +3 level thanks to the legendary effect of the amulet. For the runes, we're gonna take the activation based on killed enemy, We're gonna take the Nimble Warrior that gives us a lot of crit damage and crit chance, and we're gonna reduce the constraint on the Nimble Warrior thanks to the Rune of Astorius, which helps us get to the trigger effect faster. As for the Ancestral Legacy, there's absolutely nothing fancy. It's all about taking more raw damage and base stats. So armor penetration, raw damage, life regeneration, and that's it. There's absolutely nothing fancy. It's all about raw damage, armor pen, and a little bit of life regen. For the rest of the stats that might be important to know about, uh, I didn't talk about the life regeneration, which I take with the legendary effect on the belt and raw stats on the cape and the chest with a little bit on the amulet to get to a decent number. And thanks to the bow that allows us to life leech, I just get a little bit of life leech from the legendary effect on the gloves. And combining these two make it so when I take damage, I have a very high life regeneration rate because the rate of life regen and life leech are not uh, the same. They work together and stack on top of each other. So the life per second I actually get in combat is close to like 15k. So that's thanks to combining life regen and life leech. The other stat I haven't talked about is the reduction damage from projectile and the elite damage reduction. These two stats does wonder to reduce the damage because once you get hit once in a blue moon, you do need to reduce the damage, and preventing a one shot is sometimes not enough. So having these two stats go around 40% is gonna be very good for you and your survivability. Well, I think that's it. I've talked to you about the most important part of the build. You can check out the planner. I'm gonna post it in the description below. And yeah, feel free to try it. And if you end up min-maxing it with the new gear, let me know how it goes, how high does it goes. Have fun, guys.